Hi, I'm Assemblymember David Chu, and I want to wish you a very happy Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival. During this time, I know the color of the sky is a bit unpredictable, but we want to celebrate the future fullness of the moon during this period. This is a time for families and community to come together to enjoy mooncake, fruits, and other delicious foods. I want to thank the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition for bringing together an amazing celebration of our Burmese, Cambodian, Laotian, Thai, and Vietnamese communities, as well as Little Saigon in the Tenderloin. During this pandemic, I'm sorry that we can't celebrate in person. I know this has been a very challenging time for so many of our residents and small businesses, but I hope everyone's hanging in there. Please don't hesitate to call me and my office if we can be of any help. And as our shops and restaurants reopen, I hope you can join me in supporting our small businesses in the Tenderloin, in Chinatown, and in other diverse quarters throughout the city. I want to wish everyone much health, much safety. Happy Autumn Moon Festival.
Thank you, Assemblymember David Chu, for your support. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Rata Chun, our next MC, who has been a longtime volunteer in the community. She's all about Southeast Asian unity. She loves local events like this, where artists are given a platform to perform and showcase their skills. So please enjoy our Cambodian culture showcase.
Or my name is Rata. I am the founder of SEAACC Project. I'm also the executive committee member with the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition of San Francisco. We've been involved with the organization since its inception 10 years ago, so a whole decade. And this year we will have our event virtual. Now, this yearly cultural exhibition features both indoor and outdoor performances, activities, papaya salad demonstration, food tasting from various Southeast Asian countries. Oh, I can just remember last year's food tasting was amazing. And the papaya salad demonstration was so fun. That was a really big hit with the community. We also have live singing, dancing, and so much more. I mean, it was a really fun family community event. Now, with this year going virtual, we hope to bring you just as much fun. I'll be here today hosting the Cambodian segment. We have various artists and performers today who is going to share their work, share their art with you. And so I do hope that you tune into every single one of their performances, and feel free to leave us a comment, or if you like the dance, feel free to, let us know. So without further ado, I do present to you the Cambodian segment of the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Exhibition. Enjoy the show. Thank you so much. Akun. Kicking off the event today for the Cambodian segment, we have the youth from the Khmer Educational Endowment Network who will be performing the Rotbam Junpo, or the Blessing Dance. A little bit about the Blessing Dance. It is a very popular dance. It is traditionally performed in the beginning of a ceremony or event to greet, to bless, and or offer good wishes to the audience. This dance is a masterpiece of Her Majesty Queen Kosama Nerirot, who created this dance to reflect the pleasant character of the Khmer Nation. So I do hope you enjoy the Rotbam Junpo, performed by the Khmer Educational Endowment Network. Thank you. Give it up for the Khmer Educational Endowment Network. Thank you so much, girls. Now, we do realize that technical difficulties can happen. Nevertheless, it was such a beautiful performance. Akon. Up next, we have Princess Moon. Princess Moon will be reading a series of poetry, and we're so excited to have her read with us, and she's one of our special guest performers today. I'll have Princess Moon introduce herself. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, my name is Princess Moon. I am a second generation Cambodian American poet, storyteller, author, illustrator, youth arts educator, and maker of all things cute based right here in Boston, Massachusetts. I'd like to thank the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition for having me. This is such an honor to be here and to share my story amongst other artists as well. I'd also like to give a shout out to the Cambodian American Literary Arts Association based in Lowell, Massachusetts, which is my hometown. They're a literary org dedicated to the cultivation, visibility, and freedom of expression of emerging and established writers in the Cambodian diaspora. I really enjoy working with them. They're a really great org to check out. I'm linking them right here. First of all, I wanted to apologize for not doing this video in my traditional clothing. Due to COVID, I was not able to get my outfit in time because all of them are at my mom's house, who also lives in Lowell. And because of COVID, I'm still social distancing, so I haven't seen her. This poem that I'm about to read talks about my experience with COVID in comparison to my mother's experience with the Cambodian genocide. It's called On Immigration Mentality in the Age of COVID-19. My mother lives an hour away from me, alone. The quarantine makes the house feel huge. Paper thin, cookie cutter home, pinched edges like baked pie, washed over with eggs, hand soap, disinfectant wipes. It took me 5 days to find a pack of toilet paper for my mother, and what I did was lock it in the trunk of my car, hidden in case of emergency, in case of home invasion, and survival is a thief. Survival has a face, but mine is my mother's, borrowed and blue in piles of things I've lost and found. The fog clears. The ocean's high tide carries me along ancestors' borders. This act of canning, preserving, hoarding, this immigrant mentality, this act of survival. Had I known it all along, had I been birthed and bathed in my mother's womb, bath water filled of war trauma and lineage. Colonization is easier to swallow when you become the ones you fear the most. My house, stacks of eggshells. My home, my mother's body worn in bones, my mother's body conditioned to make it out alive. This next poem I'm going to read is actually one of the first essays that I've written. I'm starting to dive into more essay writing than short poetry, so here it goes. This is called a 3-part essay in which all of my dreams come true. 1. The air is still and it smells like broth. The air is hot. The broth is cold. It never boiled over. Big pot of beef bones stacked the sink and the oil stains the steel. This was the day I learned about coagulation. My mother stands over the sink, and this hard shell of a woman becomes a mouth of fear. Imagine being so afraid that you become a state of in-between. I blink once, and she turns into a baby. I remember the first time I ever heard her cry. A memory so rare it feels like I made it all up. I have trouble remembering if it is real because I cannot recall what she looks like when she cries. If she has a mouth opened or closed, eyes puffy or silent, but perhaps I want to remember my mother in her happiest state, even if that sacrifices the human out of her, a cold corpse of a body setting the table with a fresh manicure. 2. Bloody Mary has got to be the scariest chick on the block. A woman that can teleport and erase your existence at your reluctant command has got to be the baddest. I remember fantasizing about dying and planning my funeral in a small notebook that hides in my sock drawer. I want to die fly and be buried in an outfit that my friends choose for me. Now, imagine me at 17. I say I am happy, but I still wipe the shower steam off the mirror. I carefully say her name 3 times as if this is the last dress rehearsal of my life. Out of my mouth, like white doves, the lyrics sing, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. According to superstition, this ghost is supposed to drag you through the mirror and you disappear. But what happens when the fear of abandonment comes true? You open your eyes, and the portrait in the mirror is of you and no one else, just a sad girl dripping wet. 3. Maybe it took me so long to learn that I am beautiful because I just started wanting to be alive. Any time now, the leaves will turn brown and crisp up like fried bacon left on the stove. I find joy in seeing nature kill itself only to give birth to itself all over again. And isn't that some kind of revolution in and of itself? To be admired for sprouting beauty even after taking the beating and the storm. I take a look at myself, older-faced and ugly, and feel all the ghosts of my past running their hands through my body as if to take me with them behind the mirror. Have you ever been attacked for evolving? Because I have taken the dead skin off my back and body, bathed and ran it under hot tap water, and still couldn't find a reason to call it beautiful. I suppose 1,000 lifetimes call for 1,000 transformations, but I believe this is my final state. Doe-eyed girl with the cratered skin, doe-eyed girl with the ghost for a mother, doe-eyed girl, say it 3 times fast, and disappear. Okay, so now let's breathe as a community on 3. 1, 2, 3, breathe in. Breathe out. Again, my name is Princess Moon. Thank you for having me. You can find me at all of these fun internet URLs and links and handles, and let's be friends if you resonated with what I said. Thank you again for having me, and enjoy.
That was a very lovely poetry reading. Thank you so much for blessing us with such beautiful words. Now, next, I'd like to introduce you to Miss Sita, who is owns her own business, Sita's Khmer Kitchen, and she makes all kind of Khmer food, and you'll see all the delicious food that she will show us. Miss Sita will give us a Khmer papaya salad demonstration, so enjoy her video, and if you like what you see, feel free to contact her.
Let's hop countries to Cambodia. Can you guys quickly say your name?
Chai, Sarychay.
Oh, Yat Chai, Chai and Chat Chai? All right, we have these two wonderful ladies working away, already beating down. And can you tell us what you put inside your papaya salad?
What ingredients you have?
Papaya and carrot.
So we have some papaya here, some carrot. I see some celery. That's actually a surprise.
And I see lemon wedges, tomatoes.
Yeah. Can you tell us more about your fish sauce?
Sauce and crab.
Crab. Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
we have crab going into this one. All right, it's looking a little bit different. And I see the peppers here are a little bit tinier, but I think the smaller the pepper, the bigger the spice. So I'm a little wary of the Cambodian.
Salmon កំប៉ុង powder អាម៉ត់ហ្នឹងហើយនឹងសាច់នេះស្ករអំបិលហើយនឹងទឹកត្រីមុនដំបូងខ្ញុំយកខ្ទឹមយកទៅបុកជាមួយម្ទេសចង់បានម្ទេសប្រមាណចង់បានហឹរខ្លាំងដាក់ច្រើនហឹរតិចដាក់តិចហើយខ្ញុំបុកពេលបុកមកហើយខ្ញុំដាក់សណ្ដែកខ្ញុំយកសណ្ដែកទៅបុកជួនណាប្រើសណ្ដែកគួរបានប៉ុន្តែថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំទៅផ្សារអត់មានសណ្ដែកគួរខ្ញុំទិញសណ្ដែកនេះផ្សេងមកប៉ុន្តែសណ្ដែកនេះក៏បុកឆ្ងាញ់ដែរឆ្ងាញ់ដូចគ្នាខ្ញុំបុកវាជ្រុំហើយខ្ញុំអានេះពេញប៉ោះខ្ញុំចុចអាទូចចូលចុចអាទូចនេះពេលបុករហុងមើលទៅឆ្ងាញ់ហើយវាស្អាតពេញប៉ោះធំវាមិនសូវឆ្ងាញ់ដូចអាពេញប៉ោះទូចនេះពេញប៉ោះទូចបុករហុងទៅមើលទៅវាឆ្ងាញ់ហើយស្អាតទៀតហើយខ្ញុំបុកវាថែមណាឲ្យម៉ត់ចូលជាតិគ្នាទៅបុកវាចូលហើយខ្ញុំដាក់ទឹកត្រីបន្តិចអំបិលស្ករបន្តិចហើយម្សៅសាច់មាន់នេះហើយខ្ញុំចង់បានហឹរខ្ញុំដាក់ថែមម្ទេសនេះទៀតហើយកុំភ្លេចកាពិដាក់កាពិបន្តិចធំក្លិនឆ្ងាញ់វាធំក្លិនមែនប៉ុន្តែវាឆ្ងាញ់ហើយនឹងក្រូចឆ្មាហើយខ្ញុំបុកវាថែមឲ្យវាម៉ត់ចូលគ្នាទៅឲ្យចូលទឹកចូលជាតិខ្ញុំបុកវាទៅហើយបុកវាមកស៊ូចូលជាតិហើយខ្ញុំលហុងខ្ញុំចូលចិត្តសាប់លហុងនេះខ្ញុំចូលចាប់សាប់វែងចឹងទៅវាមើលទៅស្អាតពេលបុកទៅក៏ឃើញស្អាតពេលញ៉ាំទៅក៏វាឆ្ងាញ់ដែរមែនទេឃើញទេនេះស្អាតវែងហើយទៅពេលហើយខ្ញុំយកមកដាក់ជាមួយត្បាល់ខ្ញុំឲ្យចូលចិត្តមានត្បាល់ធំឯងយកប្រើត្បាល់ទូចនេះពេលបុកតិចចូលគ្នាWow, all that food got me so hungry. All the spices, the chilies, the limes, papaya, and that pickled crab. My goodness, it looks so good. I might just hit her up after this. Now, the next performer or artist, I should say, is Alan Kum. He is a Cambodian American artist born and raised in San Francisco. His art practice highlights the importance of the Cambodian diaspora through cultural preservation, life experiences, and family history. He examines the hybridity of American pop culture and traditional Khmer folklore in most of his artwork and illustrations. And I also want to add that we are so proud to have Alan here in San Francisco. If you're ever in the city and you see some of the utility boxes that the art that covers it, Alan is responsible for some of those beautiful art that you see throughout the city. So enjoy his art demonstration.
tuning in with the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition. Today I'm going to be painting a watercolor painting for you guys and also explain the significance of why I paint and why I paint the things that I do. So let's get started. So first off, let me tell you guys a little bit about myself. I was raised by my parents who immigrated here from Cambodia. So my immediate family was the first American born of our generation. That being said, I was pretty much stuck between American and Cambodian culture. Most of my paintings are related to Cambodian things that I grew up seeing and things that I heard from my parents. Like, I can never truly experience being a true Cambodian, but I think that's what makes our generation interesting, because our culture comes mostly from the knowledge and memory that was brought upon my parents. One reason why I pursue painting as a profession is because I'm able to recreate ideas, and I can get really personal with my identity visually rather than vocally. And I also like storytelling through still painting or image. And one thing I always think about, especially in the art community, is that Cambodian Americans are really underrepresented in the art community. And I'm glad now, also with social media and how tech evolved, that we're able to push our community further to success. So here in this painting, I chose a peacock dancer because it's a symbol of happiness, and it's usually performed during ceremonies or annual events like Cambodian New Year or during the Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival. I also chose this as my subject to paint because I look at art and culture of where my parents come from, and looking at costumes and garment, the peacock dance was always one of my favorites watching growing up, especially to see how intricate and innovative the costumes were if you really look into the details. So I hope you guys enjoyed the painting, and thank you guys for listening and watching. And also thank you to the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition for having me.
Did you see Alan's artwork? Oh my Buddha, that was amazing. Alan, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. Hopefully you guys will want to learn a little bit more about Alan and his art. Thank you again, Alan. Our last performer today, we welcome back the Khmer Educational Endowment Network. They will be performing Ropmam Neriche Chua, or Girls in Line. The dance is about beautiful young girls dressed in elegant costumes. The dance describes how Cambodia is a country rich in culture, rich in tradition, and we're known throughout our neighboring countries and kingdom. So enjoy the beautiful Ropmam Neriche Chua again by the Khmer Educational Endowment Network. Thank you. Girls, that was awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for such a beautiful performance. And thank you for closing the show. Shout out to Khmer Educational Endowment Network. Now, before I let you guys go, I'm going to talk about Bonam Tuk, share with you some Cambodia fun facts, and we also have a Cambodian trivia where you can win a prize. Now, first, let's start with the Cambodian fun facts. One, did you know that Cambodia has the largest enclosed butterfly center in Southeast Asia, and it's called the Bantay Srai? So if you're ever in Cambodia, be sure to visit it. I'd like to visit it myself one of these days. Two, Cambodia has the longest alphabet. With all of the consonants and vowels, you could pretty much put together just about any word. Isn't that cool? Three, Cambodia is the only country with a religious monument on its national flag. So right here, the Govot. And I'm sorry my flag is not in the right way, but I think that'll do. And the last fact, oh, actually, no, two more. The earliest known inscription for the numeral 0 was found on an ancient stone tablet in Cambodia. I mean, who'd have thought the number 0, right? Okay, and the last fun fact for today is Cambodia is the only country in the world whose river reverses upstream, making it the only natural phenomenon of its kind. That is just too cool, too cool. So now going on to our Cambodian trivia. So this segment is hosted and sponsored by SEAACC Project, and we'll have 5 questions or statements, and if you're able to answer all of the questions correctly by sending us an email, we'll have all of that information in a slide, you'll win this awesome hand-woven krama right here, straight from the motherland. So I will go ahead and read out the questions, and then we'll also have it in a screen for you to see as well. So remember, the first person to send us an email with all of the correct answer win the krama. Cambodia holds several Guinness World Records. We just need you to name 3. All right, the next one is, what is the national animal of Cambodia? This one is a pretty cool one. All right, question number 3, what month is Cambodian New Year? Come on, guys, this is a very, very easy one. If you don't know it, I don't know where you've been. 4, name 3 folk dance performances. Now, we're not talking about Rombong, Marizon, or anything like that. We're talking about folk dance performance. So name at least 3. And then for the last one, this is going to be a very, very easy one. What is your 2 favorite Cambodian food? Okay, if y'all ain't got no Cambodian food, or if you don't like Cambodian food, something's wrong with you. All right, so name 2. So be sure to send your answers to SEAACCproject@gmail.com. And like I said, the questions as well as the email information will be on the screen. So thank you so much. And enjoy this video regarding Bon Om Tug. I will talk a little bit about that. So enjoy. Bon Om Tug, the water festival of Cambodia, is also a full moon festival, and as such, dates change depending on the full moon. Bon Om Tug usually takes place around this time of the year. It celebrates a major natural occurrence, the reversing flow between the Tonle Sap and the Mekong River. Bon Om Tug dates back to the 12th century, to the time of Angkorean King Jeya Varaman VII. The water festival was celebrated by the King's Navy to kick off the Cambodian fishing season. The fluvial festivities are meant to keep the river divinities happy, ensuring a bountiful harvest of rice and fish for the year to come. A competing story holds that Bon Om Tug was a way for the king to prepare his navy for battle. At Bayon near Siem Reap, naval battles have been carved into the stonework, depicting boats, not that much different from the boats that race on the Tonle Sap today. Boats are mainly naga-shaped and look like moving snakes in the water. Then as now, Tonle Sap is a major focus for Cambodians. It's a source of livelihood for fishermen and farmers alike. Is rich in fish stocks, and the silt deposits left by the floods fertilizes the field. No wonder Cambodians have celebrated Bon Om Tug for centuries. It's a way to give back to the river that's given them so much. 3 ceremonies underpin the entire Bon Om Tug celebration: Loi Pratit, Sampeh Prekai, and Au Ambok. Loi Pratit is a Buddhist festival that takes place during the Bon Om Tug festival, the evening of the full moon. Banana leaf boats with illuminated candles, incense, and flowers are placed in the river. People would make or pray wishes to honor and thank the water spirits as it marks the harvest season. In Cambodia's capital today is an evening of fireworks and parade. Instead of the humbly decorated banana leaf boat, beautifully decorated floats and illuminated with electrical lights light up the waterways. Usually government institutions sponsor each of the boat float on the parade. These massive floats cruise up and down the river between about 7 to 12 midnight, just as the fireworks finish. Sampeh Prekai literally means pray to the moon. The full moon is supposed to be a good sign for the coming harvest, which is why Khmers make sure to give thanks to it and pray for a bountiful harvest ahead. Aambok. Khmer people have a huge rice culture. In the ancient days, the land was so fertile, paired with the skills of Khmers whose engineers created canals and reservoirs that allowed the people access to farm water year-round, thus enabling at least 3 farming seasons a year. It is recorded in the early account by a Chinese envoy by the name of Chu Daquan, who observed that the Khmers were able to farm 3 times a year, producing more rice than needed. Aambok is a festival celebration where special flattened rice is fed to one another. The rice is flattened with a giant pestle and mortar, then eaten by itself with bananas. Bon Om Tug is a 3-day celebration. People come from far and wide to join the celebration. School is closed and most workers go on vacation. Upwards of 1 million Cambodians gather at the riverbanks to celebrate, and those who can't find hotel rooms often just camp along the street. We hope you enjoy this tidbit about Bon Om Tug and appreciate all the different festivities that the Cambodian people in Cambodia have to offer. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Cambodian segment of the Southeast Asian Arts and Culture Coalition Mid-Autumn Harvest Festival that highlights Southeast Asian arts and culture. I just want to thank all of the performers and artists who took their time to participate in our virtual event today. Thank you to all the volunteers, our IT, and the folks behind the scenes that helped make this happen. Shout out to Crystal, who helped us with some of the videos, and our IT, Eugenia, as well as Janso Tiron Lopez with the Cambodian Community Development Inc. here in San Francisco. Thank you so much for all your help and assistance in making this happen. I hope you enjoyed the Cambodian segment of the virtual festival and enjoy the next performances. Now I will hand this over to Milin for the next segment. Thank you so much. Akun Chran.
Thank you, Rata, and everyone for your hard work in putting together that great Cambodian showcase. Princess Moon segment was wonderful, and I really hope our audience enjoyed it as much as I did.